Let me hear you say ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da. Crazy at this thing called love, just what I've been dreaming of. I can never figure out, oh, how you do the things you do. Is why I'm so in love with you. I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. Is why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. If I met you in another life and you asked me to be your wife, with grace and a smile I say, yeah, always now and forever. You be my one and only lover. Cause I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tony Conmander, excuse me, J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Oh, what is this? Today is Wednesday, March the 29th, 2023. The month has gone. The month has gone. And where's March Madness? Have we reached the Final Four already? To you basketball enthusiasts, let us know because we want to know. Let me bring my man from Liberia, Mr. Samuel Walker. How are you today, Sam?
Yeah, good morning. I'm in a very noisy place on Johnson Street, Monrovia.
Wow.
Rain, man, rain.
Oh, it's raining?
Yesterday the heavy rain all around the city. It's raining in Monrovia.
Well, you lucky you got good connection.
Yeah. I'm just very lucky.
So what's the news in
It's
Liberia?
raining. Well, again, the biometric process is kind of slow, and what we understand from the American ambassador, that it would be catastrophe if the government does not support NEC in the process. Up to now, NEC has not received money yet, ungoverned. In fact, some of the equipment that are faulty, they are broken down, and so there's a need to support the neck, with some funding to get more machines.
So how will the new equipment be faulty?
Well, we don't know. I mean, most of them are faulty. 2-3 days, people are not registered. They are not registered. Not just in Monrovia or other counties.
This is not right.
It is not right. Up and down, government has not given money to NEC, for that purpose. So American ambassador is alarming.
What's happening to the technical team to send it all around?
Well, not just enough. Not enough equipment. Not enough manpower. Not enough equipment.
Wow.
And we are gradually going against time.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a concern. So the American ambassador to speak about it. It's dangerous for our election. It's dangerous for our democracy. So that's a big news in town now.
Is that the only issue?
Yeah, for now that's a big issue. The most important issue. I've not heard from Koji Camp as what happened in the States. We have not heard from Glapohkpa case. So the election is a main issue now. The voter registration. The main issue.
This is sad.
Now.
This is sad. I mean, we have not heard. Yeah, we haven't heard anything about Glapohkpa, right?
Yeah, the police is saying that in 2 weeks' time, beginning, that's what we got about next week or so. Next week, Thursday or Friday, they will come and report. They said 2 weeks. Yeah, in April now. Yeah, in 2 weeks. So up and down, nothing has been heard. So the only scary thing is the voter registration. A lot of communities have not registered. 2-3 days they will go, and machine is not on. They will come back, and some of them walk distances, 2-3 hours, villages. According to what we learn, yeah.
That's what we're talking about. It is like the rights. They walk for miles to come to the booking station and they can't register.
They can't register.
You gotta
That's
walk all the
unfortunate.
way back home.
That's unfortunate. People are eager to register, but this biomedical system, the first time in this country, is disappointing.
Wow.
Disappointing.
It's really heart-wrenching.
Yeah,
We in America, it's hard to go here. We talk about people in Nigeria. They're taking people to voting polls to vote. Now you have people walking miles and miles and miles to vote.
And they won't register.
But man, Africa is noisy.
Very, very so. Very, very noisy. I'm in the streets of Monrovia, early morning rush. Some have not come to work. I cannot pick up a paper or newspaper, but up and down the place still closed. Yeah.
Africa noisy. I'm in Sierra Leone, the same thing. Everybody,
I tell you that.
I told the driver, I said, look, don't touch our horn. He said, what? I said, don't touch our horn. Listen to all the horn blowing. Not noisy.
That's the beauty of taxi driving.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of taxi driving.
Yeah, Africa, you on this side, you hear people blowing horn.
You see the back, backpacking? You see the tricycle?
Wow. The noise is crazy, man.
You see the tricycle?
Everybody blowing their horn. Now people blow their horn for nothing.
Yeah. This is Johnson Street.
People that blow their horn.
Yeah, Broad and Johnson intersection.
I wonder if you tell Liberian people don't blow their horn, you go to jail.
Yeah.
How many of them will end up in jail? Sam.
The gateway, but the traffic, you cannot. You can't escape the traffic. Why blow horn?
That's what I'm telling you. Is that blowing horn to be making noise? Hey, let me ask you a question. If you tell a Liberian person how you put it in jail, they blow your phone.
No, Hampton.
How
Yeah.
many people you think you put in jail one day? Yeah?
Almost everybody driving. Almost everybody are driving or riding bike. They will go to jail because you're unnecessary horn. They blow.
Yeah, they just blow on to be blowing
On,
all the noise.
they don't know when to blow unnecessary.
It's insane.
Unnecessary horn. Yeah.
Then we wonder why our system not working. We wonder why our country going back.
That's the African mentality. I mean, nothing works well. I don't know why. Nothing works well in Africa. Why? We don't know.
Because we don't want it to work, Sam. We don't want it to work.
It's true because Army came and trained the police and spent a lot on the police. When they left, the police doing the same old thing.
Yeah.
So nothing worked well. I mean, we are not prepared for any change.
We don't want to change.
We want to change.
Look at all the people educated. When I go to Liberia, the people say, I like discipline. I like order. We can't talk about that today. And you don't have discipline, we can't develop our country.
We're not disciplined.
Even in America, Liberia say in America, they have discipline. They want to do what they want to do. When you tell them, no, you can't do it, they call you American white man. Look at that other. You know how many times they call me Liberian white man?
You want to be straight? You want to be factual?
Yeah, because
so they will tell you white man straight.
Man that they work, that they be accountable for things, and they get up early, all these things. They don't like that. When I was committed, like you, Sam, when I committed to you, I call people 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. They say, what are you doing? I said, my man, I'm up. I'm working. You sleeping?
I remember at Gravestone during the war, I became secretary and a black leader. When the food came, no good boss said we should share the food and gave the displaced less. I said, no, it's not possible. It's not possible. And so they were laughing at me and they said, man, you want to eat? You want to be so straight that Jesus Christ. Everybody displaced, everybody hungry. So why must you cheat them? And so whenever they got a problem, the elder will say, it's not here. Yeah, so whenever they get a problem, the elder will say, it's not here. We'll not talk. When it's saying we can listen to. So you see, transparency. You know, the poor want to steal. You want to steal from somebody that's suffering already. So it's just part of Liberia. We don't believe in system.
A lot of Liberians like that, you know. That's from the old system. Our tribalism is a problem too. People want to steal just for their tribe, not for any people. And you people want to steal. I mean, you know,
it's pure wickedness, man.
Yeah, we got many problems. And these are the
Pure
problems.
wickedness.
And how to solve this problem when the people want to be corrupt. When the whole system corrupt. The people corrupt. Listen to the noise behind you.
But see, they got black and traffic, they don't pick up passenger. They got black and traffic, they don't pick up passenger, so they got to blow the horn. So it's just outlaw. That's how they're driving in states. I mean, in the country here. How will you stop on the road to pick up passengers?
No laws.
Up and now, you can't even find police in the street. Up and down. No police at the intersection. Yeah.
But Sam,
so everybody doing their own thing.
They got money to pay. You just come in lines and lines to pay. When people are stealing the money, how you have money to pay people? No money. Everybody's stealing.
So you will steal because you don't get paid. You get money.
And that one makes
everybody stealing.
That one makes money so corrupt, you know, because when you don't pay the people, and the people got expensive to steal, where you expecting to get money from the squeeze other people? And the corruption.
Even taxi drivers, they charge you anyhow they feel, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, taxi driver charging how they feel.
Yeah, you
The
don't want to
government is not regulating prices.
Yep. They're not regulating, no police.
So everybody's stealing.
Even the police involved in the stealing.
They are. When they wear uniform, come in the street, just to steal, just to get money from you, the driver. Nothing, they're not working. Criminals
No,
attack you, police stand, look at them in the past. They wouldn't after drivers.
I told you last time when we were there on a Sunday morning, I went down to Monrovia. Right in front of the traffic department, the police stopped me drunk. Pulled me over, he wants to see my license. So I have my correction badge with me. I flashed my badge to him. I said, show me your badge. He got no badge. He got scared. I said, you stopping me? Show me your badge. I my badge. Show me your damn badge. He said, oh, Bobby, if you don't show me your badge, I will discipline you right now. But you know what happened? When I said that, there was a whole group of people sitting on the sidewalk telling this policeman what to do. He alone wasn't involved in the corruption. They had this policeman for money. All his followers were sitting on the sidewalk watching him. When I tried to discipline him, I started yelling at him. All of them came up. About 6 or 7 people. Oh, Papa will beg you, don't bother you. I said, oh, so all of y'all in this thing. But anyway, Sam, the noise that
but guess what? Guess what?
What?
Yeah, guess what? A lot of ex-police officers, they talk to their friends, they get a uniform, and they come in the street, they hustle, they did the bread. They are now no more employed with government.
Yeah, people could just come in there with uniform and doing things.
So most of the police in the street, yeah, they're not police.
Yeah.
They wear uniform, they don't hustle. They're not police. That's the kind of country we live now.
How is the military?
They're not police. Most of the guys, besides they can acquire.
Is the military?
You know, major in politics though.
Is the military more disciplined?
Yeah.
The soldier.
For more discipline. More discipline. They are well disciplined. And when you see the military around to control traffic, it feels like ass because they're flock bitches. And when the taxi drivers see the military people around to direct traffic, help direct traffic, man, they can find a way. But the police not working, man. The police not really working.
Yeah, because the police not good, man.
When there's a heavy traffic that you cannot control for 2-3 hours, the army will come in. And in less than 5 minutes, it's open.
Wow.
So the police not really working after money. You see one person on the road, you can see him.
Yeah.
He just come in. You can see that police guy.
Hey, dog, I can't see you too good. It's too far.
Yeah, there's a police guy standing over there.
He just got there.
Yeah, there are two standing. Yeah, they just got here. There are two just got here.
They clear the traffic.
You know. Well, no, I mean they call the meeting. They gotta do their own thing. It really trying to fall again. So if you don't hear me, you know that it rain. It's trying to come down again.
Do your conclusion, let me start my class. If you got anything to say before you leave, say it. Let me start my class.
Yeah, so this is Monrovia. Yeah, this is Liberia. You see, I know this rain. It's blind girl.
Yes.
You see her walking?
Yeah.
Excuse me. You see that girl? One minute. She's a blind girl. You see, she's in the rain looking for her little bride. Yeah, she alone walking.
Yeah, you see her.
You see? You want to talk to her?
You got something to say?
You want to talk to her?
What you want to say? You want to say something?
You want to talk to the man in America? You want to talk small? You want to ask what happening? Eh? No, she doesn't know. She's okay. No, she doesn't want to talk.
Okay.
It's hell this morning. That coming in?
Okay, close your program. Let me go.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is Liberia, and we hope and pray that if our process is smooth, yeah, we hope that the government can give us the support that we need. Yeah, so tomorrow, okay, because there's nothing else to say again until tomorrow.
Okay,
Have
sir.
a good day.
You take care of yourself. Thank you. Take care. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was our correspondent in Liberia, Mr. Samuel Walker. As you can hear, man, Liberia people like noise, man. They're not only Liberia. You go Sierra Leone, you go Ghana, the people just blowing horn and they're crazy. Bah, 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 bah. I was in Sierra Leone. I told the driver, don't touch that horn. He said, what? I said, don't touch that horn. Yeah, he had a laugh. I said, man, you're crazy. But today, my people, you see what's happening in our country today. It all boils down to what we call discipline. The situation with our leadership, the situation with our populace, the situation with our societal living. It all come together and encompassed in something called discipline. What is discipline? Why did I try to talk about discipline today? Because discipline is the foundation to everything in our lives. You will not be successful at anything if you're not disciplined. And this is where Liberians fall short. We are not a disciplined people. We got excuses for everything. Look at our own lives. We fail in our lives because we're not disciplined. What is discipline? When we talk about discipline, first of all, where does the word discipline come from? That's a Latin word. It comes from the word, I'm not trying to seem like I know a lot of book or anything, but discipline comes from a word called disciples. Many people think that discipline means a disciple. That's where disciple comes from. Disciples. It's broken down into the word disciple. What is the meaning of disciple? Many people think because of Jesus Christ in the Bible, disciple means to follow. But disciple means student in Latin. When you break it down to the bare full word, it means student. So all the disciples of Jesus Christ were his students. You were teaching them. So what is discipline? Let me go into the real foundational meaning of this word. So they got different meaning for it. But it's where you plan your life. You plan your life. It's a plan because it's a training. All of us not born disciplined. All of us not born to behave in a certain way. No. When we are born, we have to be trained into how to behave. It's a behavioral pattern. Discipline. So it's a practice of training people to obey. To obey rules or codes of behavior using punishment to correct their disobedience. Okay? So, to break it down, all discipline is learning to obey rules, learning to have a code that you follow. And they're not talking about governmental rules. They're not talking about political rules. No. You got to have discipline in your life. It's a personal issue. That's why it's important that I talk about it now. Because if you don't have discipline in your life, you can't succeed. You remember how I told you all that I used to play basketball on Cotton? And every morning, 6 o'clock, I used to get up and run. Nobody should tell me to do it. It wasn't the team that made me do it. No. It was because I wanted to be a professional in my game to the highest level I could be in Liberia. I wanted to push my basketball game to the level that I could do what I wanted to do. Because if you're a human being, you know sometimes the way you think, your body may not be able to respond to that. So for your mind and your body to coordinate, you got to be in shape, especially if you're an athlete. Because there were things on the court I want to do, I couldn't do it if I wasn't in shape. I would hurt myself. I knew it. Sometimes God will bless you. You get close to hurting yourself when you get up from there. You say, oh, Lord, I shouldn't have done that. But when you train, there were things you did. There was no stress. There was no force on the court to hold you down. Your emotions were fluid. Anything you wanted to do. But if you didn't discipline yourself, you would never be able to accomplish that. So this is where Liberian people are now. We lack discipline. Individual discipline, group discipline, national discipline. We like it. We don't like to follow rules. In our country, there are no rules. I was just talking to my correspondent downtown. Listen to how the people just blowing home. Bah, bah, bah. That's lawless people. That lawless nation. You go to foreign nation that got laws and rules. You will never hear people blowing home like that. You live in America, you hardly hear people blowing horn like that. When you blow horn like that, people look at you, they're crazy. Like, oh, Lord, what all this noise about? Because you're not going to rush things. You're not going to change things overnight. But because we're so illiterate, we're so indisciplined, we're so backwards, we play with the horn, bah, 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 we think it's fun. Listen, you go to Africa, the noise is so tremendous, man. Noisy people, because they're not disciplined. We're not disciplined. We are wild people. Majority of the people blowing horns like that are people who ain't got high school diplomas. Even high school people would behave better than those people. You see? So that's how you know the level of the society. The discipline of the society will tell you the levels of intelligence of the society. Look at Africa. We are the only continent that blows horn like crazy people. Why? Because it tells you of the level of our intelligence. We think making noise will solve the problem. When there's a traffic, we just blow, bah, 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 bah. We think that will make things move faster, or that will alleviate the issue. So you have all these dummies blowing horns. So that demonstrates the level of discipline in the society. Because if you discipline, you will understand that you cannot push the traffic. You cannot force the traffic to go. If there's an issue, if there's a person there, that person got to understand, they got to get it going. Yeah, maybe people will start yelling after a while. Even in America, people will start blowing after a while because they want people, they will start yelling. Because people got things to do. But just for a simple stop, people will not just start blowing, blah, blah, blah. No, people will wait for a while. But when you stay there close to a minute, then people start blowing their horn. Because things got to go. You can't delay the traffic. That means you're inconsiderate. Whatever you're doing, you're talking to somebody in the traffic, except there's an accident. People will notify you there's an accident. Somebody will get out of the car and say, there's an accident here. But besides that, people will act the same way after close to a minute. You just park there for a minute, people start blowing pom pom because people got to do their work. But they will not be crazy. Somebody will come up to the car and find out what's wrong. Hey, why are you holding up the traffic, man? So this is different based on discipline. Discipline, how you think, how you behave, how you are trained. Do you follow code of law? So with discipline, when we talk about discipline, I give you one rule. But every rule of discipline has to do with learning how to follow rules, learning how to follow order, knowing that if you violate these rules, if you are derelict in following your orders, you will be punished. So there is incentive to make you do something. You're going to be punished if you don't do it. Okay? Not incentive in the sense of rewarding you, but punishing you. So we look at discipline. Even in the Bible talks about discipline. Okay? There are two main places in the Bible that really broke discipline down in Proverbs, where they talk about, discipline. If you discipline your children, they will bring you happiness. They will bring Proverbs 28:17. If you discipline your children, they will bring you happiness. They'll bring you rest, all the kind of thing. Then there's also Proverbs 13:24 that all of us know. Spare the rod and spoil the child. Okay? But sometimes people take that proverb to an extreme. 13:24, they take it to an extreme. They say spare the rod and spoil the child. But you got to understand, if you love your child, you can't just beat them like dogs and animals. No. And say, the Bible says don't spare the rod. We got to beat you, then you take the whips and start. No. Spare the rod, you spoil the child means that you got to be consistent in your discipline, in your communication, in your common sense in dealing with them. You got to be consistent. Those are three parts of the civilian aspect of us military: fair, firm, and consistent. In the military realm, when it comes to disciplining, that's our motto: fair, firm, and consistent. When you're punishing people or you're leading people, you got to be fair with them. When you're administering discipline, you got to be fair with them. Secondly, you got to be firm. You can't slack. You can't see people doing things today. You say, oh, you can't do that, I'll beat you. Then tomorrow you kind of see people doing the same thing. You say, oh man, you're giving me too much hard time, man. Don't do that now. Put that thing up now. Then you leave it alone. That's not firm. You're flipping. Because you can't punish one group of people for something and the other group of people do it and you act relaxed and don't punish them. That's not firmness. It goes across the board. You got to be fair across the board. You got to be firm across the board. You can't be choosy. You can't be picky. You can't have friends. You can't have padres or comrades. No, when you're administering discipline, you can't do that. It's across the board. If you're going to forgive, you forgive across the board. You're going to discipline, you discipline across the board. Then the people know the kind of leadership that you are. That's discipline. Because everything falls on you personally first. Because before you can discipline yourself, you got to know 7 things. One of the 7 things you got to know. And I always tell you this. You got to know yourself. You got to know yourself. And if you have not reached the state or age of majority, which is maturity, that you can evaluate yourself and say, who am I? What kind of man am I? You see, like I tell people, I know who I am. When it comes to leading people, sometimes I can be very strict. I had to learn to break it. Because I'm not like other guys that do like going to the nightclub and partying and going out all over the place. I'm not that kind of guy. I passed that stage in my life. So going out to parties and things don't excite me. I prefer to sit there and watch my TV and watch my news. If I want smoke and want drink, I drink it right in my house, enjoy myself right in my house and go to sleep, eat all I want to eat in my house. I pass the stage of going out to parties and all the things. So when I'm leading people who are younger than me and who indulge in those kind of things, I got to be considerate when I'm punishing them. I got to be considerate of the age, of the maturity. They're not me. So I got to understand their situation. And that's discipline. Because when you discipline, you understand discipline. How to discipline other people. Because you know discipline within your life. So the first thing to being disciplined is to know yourself. Know how you think, know how you behave, And secondly, if you want to be a basketball player, you want to be a soccer player, if you know yourself, you will know how competent you are and dedicated to the sport you want to play. Okay? So when you know those things, you got to remove all temptations. That is the second thing. Know yourself. Remove all temptations to stop you from being the athlete you want to be. Okay? So you know that you want to be a good athlete. You can't stay out all night. You can't drink plenty of alcohol like other people. You may smoke weed, but you got to have limitation too. You can't do every kind of drugs because every kind of drugs will not work with playing basketball or soccer or everything like that. So you got to know your limitations and you got to remove them. Okay? You know, if you want to be a soccer player, you got to choose. If you want to drink, you know how alcohol acts on you. Will you be able to perform good? Excuse me. Under any circumstance, if you drink 1 or 2 beers, you got to know how weed act on you because that's a common thing in the community now. Everybody's smoking weed. So you got to know how weed act on you. And if they don't contribute to your athleticism, you got to leave them. You got to leave them. You see, I don't touch alcohol. Yeah, I drink once in a while. But I will not drink before games and things like that. When I got to straighten up myself. No, because you want to be in sound mind. Okay? Some people may be able to drink 1 or 2 beer and focus. And you got to know your limitations. So just like you go to the club, you know that when you drink 1 or 2 beer, you get drunk. So you can't drink 2 beers. You can't. And drive. You can't. So you know your limitation. If you know you can't drink hot liquor and drive, don't touch hot liquor. If beer will not make you drunk, and you know you can drink 1 or 2 beer and drive, yes. Because everything you do has consequences. So you move all those temptations. First, you know yourself. Then you move all those temptations. Then the third thing, you set your goals. What do you want to do in life? These are steps to discipline. Know yourself. Know what you want to do. Know what aspect of life you want to excel in. Then all the things that will slow you down, that will impede your progress, you get to know it, remove it from your life. Sometimes we want to do things, you don't know things that will impede your progress until you decide to do it. Then when you decide to do it and you start going on that path, you will notice that certain things you did in your other life, you can't continue to do it if you want to change. Okay? So you got to know yourself. Then you remove all the temptations around you. Right? Then you set your goals, what you want to do. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? You can't just get up in life and just say, I want to be this and that. Or you see Chesson, because Chesson making money behind desk, you want to sit behind desk. No, there's a path to get to that desk. Chesson didn't just get up overnight and say, I want to be a manager or I want to have a TV show. Everybody can't do this. Even the most educated people, everybody can't do this. It got to be a calling to do it. You got to have the ability to talk. You got to have the ability to do research, to teach people if you want to teach things, to say things that will incite people to listen to you. Okay? So you set your goals. What you want to do? You want to be a manager? You want to be a doctor? You want to be a professional player, football player? There are certain rules you have to follow. There are certain disciplinary standards you have to abide by. You know you can't drink all the time. You can't go to party all the time. You can't associate with friends all the time. You can't have sex every time you want to have sex. And that's the problem with our football team too. That's what those women were saying. The football player on camp to play an international game, but all of them want to leave the camp to come have sex. That's indiscipline. That was the two. Watch my video. Go to my page on Facebook and watch my video. That's why those two women were talking. Those two older African women dressed in their African clothes, but they're sensible. They were asking the women, how y'all enjoy the game? They said, what kind of game that? These Liberian footballers, they say they're on camp. They go camp to play the game. But then they won't come and drink and have sex and all those things. You can't do that kind of thing. You on camp to play a game, you on camp. That means you go in there to train, you go in there to philosophize the game, talk about the players on the opponent teams, how you going to defend them, how you going to overwhelm them. That's what you go to camp for. You don't go to camp to break camp, to come to sleep with girlfriend, to sleep with other women in the city, to have liquor here and there, then go back to camp. No. You see, this is when we're talking about discipline. That's why I wanted to talk about this topic this morning. Because you're not disciplined, you can't achieve anything. Okay? So, the third thing is set your goals. Then what is the fourth thing? Practice daily diligence. That means whatever you want to do, you got to practice it daily. You got to be devoted to it. You can't say, I want to do something, then you don't want to train. You don't want to do what it takes to be that thing. Nothing is free. You want to be an athlete, you got to train. And there are some serious conditions of training you got to undergo to be international, to play with the big boys on the big stage. You got to reach certain standards of discipline. When they say discipline, it means training, standard, behavior. All of that fall into your discipline. Then you have to follow rules and obeying codes. Because I always say, when they say this man is disciplined, I mean this man is sound. The same thing occurs when you discipline people. When you bring employees to discipline, there are steps to disciplining them too. Just like there are steps to getting discipline. If I want to punish people, I can't just punish people like that. There are steps to punishing people. How do you punish people? How do you implement discipline? We're talking about that too. Okay? So you got to practice daily diligence, getting up early, doing your practices, building up your muscles, reading all through the night, studying your damn cases. All these things have to make you what you want to be. Then the fourth point, create new habits and rituals. You know, if you want to be a pastor, you can't be with your boss who drink every night. You can like them, yeah, you can take a little bit for the stomach's sake. Take a sip of the beer or something. But you can't sit and indulge with your boss no more, man. So those boys are boys that will dissuade you from what you want to do. You got to form new habits. You got to find new friends. You got to find new rituals. You can't hang with the boys no more because the boys want to drink. The boys want to party. They don't want to sit down and be hearing about the church, about Ecclesiastic 2:4-6. Thou shalt not drink too much. Thou shalt slow down the drinking. No, they don't want to hear that shit. Your boys want to drink and have fun. You want to be a pastor, you got to pack your bag and find new habits. You got to find new friends. You got to find people who are like in your interests, or you lose. Because those boys you go into, your old buddies, they're not into church. That don't mean they're not Christians, but they don't want to be pastors. They don't want to be preached to. They don't want to be chastised by another friend all the time talking about the Bible. So you got to change your habits. You got to change your friends. Okay? That's another thing about discipline. Know yourself. Avoid temptations. Everything that you know will bring you down, for you, cause you not to achieve your goal. Avoid them. Set goals. If I want to be a football player, what do I have to do? I know I got to stay in shape. So every morning I got to run. I got to do some daily exercises. I can't wait until the school training that I go there to train. No. I can't wait until the day we having practice. Then I go there to practice. No. I got to take personal initiatives. If I want to play in the basketball team, I can't wait for training day with the school. I got to wake up every morning, run. At least every morning, run. Take 1 hour to run. Take 1 hour to play with the ball. Learn how to bounce the ball and things like that. That builds skills. Daily diligence. You got to do something every day to build that skill. You can't just sit at home. So you got to set your goal. Practice daily diligence. Create new rituals and habits and friends. If your old friends are not into what you're doing, you got to find new people that are into what you're doing that will motivate you, insinuate you, incentivate you. All those things get you going, man. You know, incite you to come and do what you want to do. So those are things you have to do. Then you got to change your willpower. You know what you want to do. Nothing easy. To achieve what you want to achieve, you got to be able to believe in yourself, in your abilities to accomplish those things, your willpower. Then finally, they say you got to have a backup plan. Because if one plan don't go forward, you got to have a backup plan. And the primary means of determining a disciplined person, that's a person who starts, falls, and gets up again and starts renewed. You don't give up. You don't give up. Disciplined people don't give up because they know to achieve something is not easy. And when they know everything will not be successful or it turn out the way you want it to turn out. So you always got to know, if this doesn't turn out this way, I got to have a backup plan. What am I going to do? If I can't play basketball, is there an alternative? Is there another sport I can learn? So if I don't play in the basketball team, which is my dream, maybe I can fall on the soccer team, on the volleyball team, on the kickball team, or soccer team, or be a manager for the teams. Since I love basketball so much and want to be linked to it, how can I keep this relationship going? So all of that breaks down to discipline, you know? And when you become a disciplined person, there are things that people look for in you. One, responsibility, patience, truth, balance. What do you mean by balance? Your thinking. Does it match what you want to do? Do you have peace, equilibrium in your life? Is there peace in your life between what you want to do and how you achieve it? That's the balance. Do you create that balance? So, my class is just to let my people know that everything we do, you got to follow rules. You got to set codes and disciplinary measures for yourself, things you will follow. You can't just jump out and say, I want to do this or I want to do that. No. Know yourself. That's the first thing. Who are you? What you like? What you want to accomplish? What you like to accomplish? You got to know it. That when people tell you, you ask the kid, you want something, what's your ambition? What do you want to be? Oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer. Do you like math? Do you like science? Do you like these things that enable you to achieve what you want to achieve? Because you cannot be a doctor if you don't know math and biology and all that. You can't be an engineer if you don't know math. If you don't know the difficult aspects of math too. You got to learn it and know it. That's a part of being an engineer. People's lives are in your hands. So you got to get that kind of discipline to know yourself, to know that if you want to be an engineer, it's not an easy task. You got to commit yourself to it. And it's something you want to be. You want to be a political scientist, you got to commit yourself. Anything you want to do, you got to commit yourself. People say, oh, political science is easy. Go to political science and show me how easy it is. When you don't have the mind to think and analyze. You got to think and analyze. That's why we have two different kind of maths. You got a math for scientists and builders and people like those. Then you got a math for political thinkers and people who like to analyze things, not on a scientific level, but on a social level. But they still got to do math because they got to learn the difference in things. They got to learn how to balance things. So you do that kind of math. It's not as difficult as the science math, but this reason math, where you got to learn the reasoning, inductive reasoning, and all those kind of things. So you're still doing math, but on a different scale, on a different level, that yields a different kind of result. You see, your kind of math is to develop thinking, constructive thinking. Their kind of math is to build constructive things. So you see the difference? Your thinking is to build society, to use that math, inductive thinking, deductive thinking, all that kind of thinking, to achieve something in leading society, where their math is to achieve things in building things, in structure, design, and all that kind of. So they pursuing a different kind of profession than yours. Okay? I'm coming close to my class now. We'll continue with this discipline because there are other things we need to know, like the different steps of disciplining. I told you all, when you're punishing people, you got steps to that too. We got to talk about those steps. You can't just punish people. If you're working under me and I'm your employer and you do something, you violate the rules, I got steps to discipline you too. I can't just jump out and fire you. No. So that's why they call progressive discipline. Okay? And we'll talk about that too in my class tomorrow. But today we're just talking about disciplining yourself, being aware and conscious of yourself and what you want to do and what steps you got to take towards it. You got to take constructive steps. You got to know yourself. You got to remove all temptations of what you want to do from around you. You want to be a footballer? You got to understand. Setting down for drinking, setting down for sex, setting down for partying. Not every day. You got to discipline yourself. I record discipline. You know when to stop drinking. You know when to stop partying. You know when to stop having sex. And you know when to start disciplining yourself for the next game. And when we know all these things, our life becomes easier because it's continuous and consistent. It doesn't stop. If you're an athlete, you can't say I'll train today, do this, and after that, the rest of the time, just have sex. No, you can't do that. It's consistent and continuous. Okay? So we'll talk about more tomorrow. My class is done now. The Tony Conmander JR Glapohkpa Chesson class is done. And I just got to get out of here, my people. You know, some days you just got to allez. Go.